The suspect accused of planting pipe bombs at the RNC and DNC headquarters in Washington, D.C. in 2021, making his first court appearance yesterday. Sources telling Fox News he admitted to planting the devices and expressed doubts about the 2020 election outcome. Retired FBI supervisory special agent James Gagliano joins us now. So great to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. So just real quick, just to put this aside, we also know while he may have said, the suspect may have said what he said about the 2020 election, he also bought all the materials in 2019 well before the election. So the idea that he was plotting this around the election is completely bonkers, correct?
Yeah, Charlie, this is an interesting case. And first of all, kudos to the four departments that worked this: the U.S. Capitol Police, Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and the FBI. To your point, you know, these cases aren't always neatly tied up in a bow, and the suspect has given some conflicting statements. Look, if you want to get to motivations, there's no better way than actually have the suspect himself articulate them. And we understand that he is cooperating right now with authorities. But there is a plethora, a veritable treasure trove of forensic evidence that's been harvested between cell phone calls that pinged in the area of where the bombs were placed at the RNC and DNC headquarters, license plate readers picking up his Nissan Sentra around this time, and even, Charlie, they were able to determine the suspect was somewhere between 5'6" and 5'8", and he turned out to be 5'7". So this is a great case, right? Very confusing, but I think we'll know more as this thing progresses.
So one of the things that's really confusing about it for those of us watching from the outside is that all of those things you noted, the video evidence, the photographic evidence, the license plate information, and the cell tower pings, the FBI had all that information. This has been sitting around for 5 years now, and yet for some reason they only closed in on the suspect in the last week.
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion about that. And look, I'll give the Bureau the benefit of the doubt here. A lot of times, you know, we think these things can be solved neatly and quickly, but it was a fresh set of eyes on this. The U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., U.S. Attorney Pirro, has already stated there were no new tips that came in, no new evidence that was revealed. It was a fresh set of eyes looking at this. And look, Charlie, you got to look at it from the perspective of driving through the area where the bombs were placed or having a cell phone in that area do not necessarily make you the suspect. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of folks that had done that. Even buying the bomb components. There's 4 component parts: a power source, an initiator, the explosives themselves, and a switch. You can buy many of that at Home Depot. Putting that together, that's the link analysis. That's where they really made this case. And 5 years is a long time, but I think they got it right.
Right. Real quickly, because we got to go, do you think that based on what we saw in court yesterday, that prosecutors are going for terrorism charges?
You have to. You have to come over the top and supersede. They're holding him right now in possession of an explosive device, Charlie, and transporting one across state lines. There will be terrorism charges leveled. I'm fairly confident in that.
James Gagliano, thank you so much.
Thanks, Charlie.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.